What's good, y'all? The big patient Zero in the voice call.
Who invited this kid into the voice call?
For your information, this kid has more brains than you have profits. Respect for those above you can go a long way.
More neurons than I have profit is complete fake news that is mathematically and statistically impossible.
The solution to solving brain death in the voice call is adding another idiot to cause more arguments. I totally agree with this.
While you guys argue, we should get back to our tier list.
Seems like I'm sharing my screen again.
Oh wow, I expected a shittier tier list than what's displayed.
Anyways, we left off on Executioner. Wait, I thought Executioner was on the list, but he isn't here. What happened to him?
The guy got murked by some British or zombies.
Oh, well, that's too bad, I guess. It's farm time, so we can bring in those fat stacks.
There is hardly any argument as farm is crucial to many runs unless you use Golden Cowboy.
Also, farm is quite cheap, and if you max out all of them, then you can get quick profits from it.
Sounding like an A tier for me. Well, okay, because nobody else is saying it, then I'll say it. Medic is next.
This is basically a C tier. It is a support tower, and most of them land in C tier as long as they can do their job and not fuck everything up.
I agree with Commander. Medic can come in handy, but it isn't necessary. We got the military base. Despite being a beginner tower, I'd say it's B tier.
The military base has a good airstrike and okay DPS with decent HP. This can easily be used to clean up waves and kill off leaks.
However, it isn't really good, so we could all agree on A B tier.
We're really blitzing through these towers, aren't we? Not very open discussions and simply just agreeing on rankings.
That's because there isn't much arguing and these towers are relatively easy to rank. Just wait for random bullshit and disputed towers to cause drama.
Honestly, we should have invited Frosty. He would have made more variety and discussions interesting.
Who the hell is Frosty?
It's a nickname for Frost Spirit.
Does Krampus let you do that?
Krampus? What the hell does he have to— There's no fucking way you actually watch those damned nutshell videos.
In all fairness, some of them are wrong.
Well, Commander, you jinxed the random bullshit thing.
There was no avoiding it anyway.
Cool points, guys, but we have Paintballer next and
F tier.
that settles that then.
Alright, how about a normal non-golden Pyromancer?
Pyromancer has pretty solid DPS, and it's quite cheap too.
Yes, however it struggles early game as it requires an accompanying tower to really perform well. Also, you need to wait one wave to place it. Moreover, it is alleviated by its defense melting, which caps at 50%, although it can't stack with other pyros and burn effect can only be used one at a time.
Sounds like a B tier. Anyways, Golden Pyromancer? I'd suggest an A tier because the DPS is much better and it can attack more enemies simultaneously.
The Golden Pyromancer is objectively better. It has superior DPS and can have as much as 300 DPS if it can attack to its maximum potential.
Well, yeah, an A tier sounds fairly mainly because it does its job as crowd control, melting damage, and attacking multiple enemies.
Can we just rank the obvious, such as Mecha Base or War Machine, to spare some time?
Sure, I don't see why not.
Okay, Toxic Gunner time. Former king of bullying Void Reaver.
It might come as a shock, but Toxic Gunner isn't that bad. It can solo Molten mode, and if you apply Commander then it's even better.
Yeah, it can handle early game alone somewhat and the poison is buffed. I'm conflicted between B and C tier.
I'd say B. However, Toxic Gunner can easily be outclassed by other towers such as Pyromancer or Pyro, therefore, I'd place it in C.
Turret time.
Turret is notorious for the second best DPS behind the Dowling Gun. It's pure DPS and has no rev time, so it's very good against bulky enemies, however the 3 placement limit is ass. Therefore an A tier.
That literally sums up all we have to know to rank turret.
Cool, but we got the Militant. It has 50 DPS for a small price, and it can perform well as the only tower in Molten, so it isn't complete as.
Yeah, the Militant seems good, but Molten isn't too difficult. Besides, Militant has flying and hidden detection on level 1, so we might be able to push it to A.
Can we not ride the Militant tower too much? You're mentioning the positives, but the Militant is relying on DJ for level 4 upgrades, and let's not forget the ammo, which can hinder the tower's use. Lastly, the video where Militant soloed Molten involved Commander and DJ, so it isn't all sunshine and rainbows.
Shut the fuck up, this is a free B tier.
Oh my below natural, there's no fucking way you idiots are going through.
Okay, it sounds like we all agree on B tier.
This game is so over.
Mad anyways. Sledger is an easy C tier. Otherwise, and you must re-examine your position.
Well, it can be used to slow down enemies, and the double damage is very helpful. Although, fast enemies can slip through, so it ain't too excellent.
C tier is what I'm hearing, so C tier it is.
It's time for Archer.
Archer no longer has his 10 piercing, and the initial 2.5-second fire rate before burn effect negatively impacts Archer.
Besides, the burn time is quite a mediocre 3 seconds for levels 3 and 4. Not only that, the DPS is quite mediocre, although the price isn't too expensive. That is until max level, which is 13k, and Archer overall is still not too good. You can get much better upgrades or towers with that cash.
Sounding like a D tier. Next, we have the Golden Minigunner. Thoughts?
To start off, Golden Minigunner has pretty good DPS, although more expensive than the original Minigunner and has a placement limit. Also, the larger range allows for more damage to be dealt.
Let's not forget how the larger range adds to better consistency and reliability to the Golden Minigunner, especially because the tower is typically spammed.
Sounding like an A tier.
How about a normal minigunner?
Well, it's the same thing as Golden except it has less range and damage. Also, it is quite outclassed by other towers as you progress, so...
B tier.
Alright, so it's time for another S tier, the Ranger.
You can't really argue with that. The Ranger is immune to most stuns, and it is unaffected by the Ice Shard Tower Killer in Operation IC.
That, and also it has a ton of damage plus the explosion when you upgrade it, although the fire rate is slower. However, it can be remedied by the large range.
Free S tier. We're almost finishing this list. Pursuit. I'd personally put it in A.
Pursuit can move its position and locks in on its target. Let alone the fact that its missile is very good. I'd argue an A tier as well.
The tier, easy as pie.
We have a majority. I'm putting it in a tier.
You know, pi is an easy 0.
And shutting the fuck up isn't easy for you, isn't it?
Use the God Cube and it shards correctly. Then we'll start talking.
Wow, Zero. You just got completely dunked on.
Oh, shut the fuck up, both of you.
Okay, calm down. I know for a fact that none of us know shit about Rocketeer, so not applicable.
How about the Golden Cowboy? I believe it's an A tier.
The Golden Cowboy can't really do good at defending, and it generates half the money as farm for double the price. It isn't necessarily that good.
Well, Golden Cowboy only has use if you can't fit in a farm nor an early game tower. I'd argue either B or C.
Golden Cowboy is not on par with the likes of Medi or Freezer, but not better than Accelerator, so likely B. It is typically outclassed by others in its field, but it isn't dog's hit. For this reason, I'll place it in B tier. It's good, don't get me wrong, but not really good.
Normal Cowboy is next, and I believe it's pretty bad. Golden Cowboy has some use for solo and duo where you can't really farm. However, Normal Cowboy sucks in all fields. Income, DPS, range, every game mode.
Cowboy is shit. I think we can all agree on a D tier.
Thoughts on both Soldier and Golden Soldier? Soldier is just a better scout, to be frank. Cheaper, better detection, less DPS but more viable.
Not only that, but it has a cheaper placement limit and store price. So, Soldier is a pretty good early game. More so Golden Soldier, as you can place it on Wave 1, and it has fly and hidden detection.
I believe Soldier is fitting in a C tier. Meanwhile, Golden Soldier is B tier, because its DPS is almost minigunner level.
Frost Blaster Gaming, anyone?
Frost Blaster is a C tier. It has good pierce and range to complement it. So used targeting correctly, it can freeze enemies then give a chill effect.
Frost Blaster can also be good early game because of its abilities and how cheap it is.
Next we got the Necromancer. I'll just start off clean. This tower sucks until the max level. It's slow, the spawns suck, and the max level fixes it by having it attack multiple enemies simultaneously at all times. However, it costs too much, so I'm inclined to place it in D tier.
Warden is quite cheap, and the good fire rate in conjunction to the decent DPS of the first 3 levels make it good.
Don't forget the stun ability. The good damage, fire rate, and stun ability allow for the Warden to stall enemies for other towers while also cleaning up some slow but bulky enemies.
Sounds like a B tier.
Second to last, the Slasher. Honestly, it's shit pretty early game, and by the time you're using its bleed effect or good damage with good swing rate, it is mid or late game where other towers can do the DPS. For example, when you max out all slashers and stack bleed effect, you got other DPS towers to just kill whatever you try to kill.
I agree with narrator. It has good DPS and a nice bleed effect. However, no matter how good a tower is, It's useless if you can't apply it to any part of the game if it's outclassed by everything.
Yeah, it has no use for any area of the game. Besides, it's a Warden without stun, and the fact they removed the throwing knives mechanic made it boring. So, it pains me to say that it's D tier. It would be C, but it has no use, really.
Final tower, the Mortar. It has good damage with its primary bomb, and the cluster bomb makes a better crowd control. Also, the range covers most of the map, so it has purpose.
I agree, although we need a reason as to why it wouldn't be beat. Personally, I believe it's because it has a placement limit of 4 and the lack of hidden detection.
The hidden would probably be killed by the splash damage or another tower, so pretty unnecessary.
Yeah, so I guess it's AC then. Well, that finishes off our tier list.
Well guys, that finishes off today's video. Always be sure to like and subscribe. Hey wait, why the fuck are you guys leaving the call? We haven't even done the out. Oh my god, Roblox.
I'm still here. Anyways, this tier list missed some towers, so we gotta do another one.
This isn't it? What the fuck?